Hello and welcome back to another Uncle Tat's Creative Shack video. This is the LEGO Star Wars set number 75229. It is called the Death Star Escape. And here we go. So this is actually a scene that you can really get into and create from the movie. This is from Episode 4, Star Wars A New Hope. And I'm going to go ahead and just spin it around so you can see the different pieces and how it all works, and then I'm going to try to set up how the scene works. It's a very small vignette where you have a scene cut from the movie and played out in Lego. So as we spin it around here, we've got a stormtrooper up top here with a ladder for him to get up to the top. We have the very little infamous mouse droids, this little guy, and adorable in that he actually comes out of a mouse-shaped hole. These were the little droids in the movie Star Wars and other movies as well that would run around the Death Star, probably, bringing information from one location to another. You've got this printed one-by-one tile right there. So spinning around, you've got some white binocular pieces. Zoom it back out a little bit. You've got your Luke and Leia figures with a grappling hook. We'll show you how that works here in a minute. We've also got a piece of a walkway here. And now that we're at the back of this, we'll take a look at why we're looking at this big red Technic piece. So let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here for see. I guess that's okay. So yes, so we're looking at this piece. So this is actually a door mechanism that you bring it up and it locks into place. So what you end up having is, like I said, this is a cutout from the Death Star with a doorway that's now posed open, and you have the ability to push this walkway to complete the final scene. And that's just done by simple sliding mechanism. There's nothing funky going on there. It just slides back and forth. Okay. But it is instrumental to the scene in the movie. We'll get to that here in just a minute. We also have up here just some of the random greeblings from the top of the Death Star, just different pipes and whatnot. And in the scene, that plays an instrumental role where Luke throws up a grappling hook and they swing across to safety. So let's see. Now, why are they swinging across to safety? Well, I can get my phone to, and it doesn't want to zoom back out for us. There we go. There we go. So why do they want to swing across to safety? Well, in the movie, let me bring it back out a little bit. In the movie, this walkway is back. There is no, it hasn't been extended. Luke and Leia are being chased by the stormtroopers. They need to get across this chasm, and they say, hey, we need to find the controls to get across the chasm. Well, what ends up happening is Luke ends up shooting this, and let me zero in on that piece here. It's another printed one-by-one tile right there where my hand was. Luke ends up shooting that with his blaster, and when he does that, he's doing that to try to close the doors. Oops. I'm going to try to get this. There we go. He shoots that to try to close the doors so that they are protected from the stormtroopers. So what happens is you have this little lever here. Bam. The door goes down. Okay? So then you've got Luke and Leia on this side of the door. And you really can't pose the two of them there at the same time. There's not enough room to get both minifigures there. But so he's shot the door out. And now Princess Leia is like, you know, hey, we got to find the controls to extend this bridge so we can get across this chasm here. This is actually, this black plate is representing, you know, a very deep chasm in the Death Star, and there's only one way to get across, and that would be to try to, for Luke to use his grappling hook out of his utility belt. And so let's, unfortunately with this set, so what he'd have to do, let me try to zoom it back in a little bit. What he'd have to do is try to get it onto the pieces up there. I'm just going to go ahead and take this right off the stand. There we go. So he'd have to throw his grappling hook up onto some of this parts up here and swing across the chasm. But the problem with this Lego set is that physics wouldn't allow that to happen because he's throwing the grappling hook above him. In the movie, what he'd be doing is he'd be throwing the grappling hook over to the other side so that they could swing across the chasm. Okay? But I guess in the interest of space, Lego has you putting the grappling hook right above you, and then of course you can display the figures swinging to safety. But that's where you have to use your imagination and your own little bit of creative licensing. Put this camera back on the stand here, because otherwise, okay, there's not really much way for him to swing. But we'll go ahead and we'll set the action scene up. So Luke has got his grappling hook in his hand. Actually, we'll do it this way. Do it a little bit closer to camera. Princess Leia can actually grab onto the back of his. Now, of course, in the movie, she pretty much hugs him. Okay, but in Lego form, she's grabbing onto this clear piece on his backpack. Okay, she's going to go ahead and hold onto the blaster while he's doing the grappling hook part. And there we have it. That is basically, for all intents and purposes, that's the scene that this Lego set is trying to recreate. They're swinging across this chasm to get away from the stormtroopers. And of course get to safety. So you have another interactive feature up here where you've got the stormtrooper. Now of course they did have stormtroopers on both sides of the chasm, so that's canon to the movie. But there's an action feature here where you've got a stormtrooper, and you know, before they're swinging across, if you want to have an action scene, you could have Luke, you know, go ahead and, you know, shoot that stormtrooper. You've got a little gear here, nice red color gear, and as you turn it, it knocks the stormtrooper over. It is a very simple mechanism. It is nothing more than you can't even see it. It's barely even visible here on the camera. It's a little black piece that just flips the stormtrooper off. He's only standing on there by one stud. Okay, just like that. And if you twist it hard enough, it makes it look like he got shot and he fell down. So there you go. So you've got that little scene, and again, it is in a very condensed spot. Try to get this camera to. I am having technical difficulties tonight getting this thing to zoom in and out. Here we go. So where he sits, where the stormtrooper sits, he does have a printed console piece. There's a 1x2 cheese wedge that has a print on it, which I like this. You know, Lego far too often is making this stuff out of stickers, and I like stickers. I do. I think they have a place for them, you know, to be on something to add detail, but it really slows down your building process when you have to stop every, you know, couple pieces and put stickers on. So thankfully, I don't believe this set here has any stickers with it, and that's actually a good thing. Let's see. Here we go. We'll spin it around a little bit more. I don't think there's any stickers in this set. I think it's all, there we go. I think it's all just, you got your printed tile here, 1x1 tile there. There's a printed tile right there. 2 printed tiles. Slide the set up a little bit more. And no stickers. So interestingly enough, what it does do, and as you can see it happening right now, is it comes apart. It opens up, and let's try to get that a little bit more visible for you. So you've got this hinge in the back, which is kind of neat because this actually will help expand your creativity. You don't have to have the scene just like bent over just like this as the box suggests. You've got some hinge pieces in the back right here. There's 2 hinge plates, and what that will allow you to do is you can open up the scene. You can have the chasm a little bit, a little bit bigger. You can have it at a 90-degree angle and have more scene this way and more scene that way by adding your own pieces, or if you bought 2 of these sets. I don't remember how much the set was originally. It might have been about a $25, $30 set. I honestly don't remember. Fairly cheap. You could get another set and make, continue the scenes off to both sides, or you can go ahead and wrap it around this way and continue your scenes in those directions. As far as the bridge extending, or the platform would extend like that. Having it in this position, you'd only have it coming this way. You wouldn't have one there unless you bought, unless you had added your own pieces to create a bridge on that side. So it's an interactive set. I do like it. I think that, unfortunately, the suggestion of Luke and Leia with the grappling hook like up and behind them doesn't really make sense to the movie. The physics just would not work right at all. That's when you have to use your imagination. But you do have enough playability with this simple set to have some nice fun and creativity. So, as for the minifigures, and again, I don't have my minifigure stand with me, so we'll have to do this a little bit differently. Take that off to the side. We're going to use this piece here. Just try to set that up for me a little bit better. There we go. There is our, there's our Luke Skywalker minifigure in his Tatooine outfit, and he's got some of the Stormtrooper pieces still on him. They were dressed as Stormtroopers at one point. That's why he's got the white utility belt, which is where the grappling hook came from. If you spin him around. Okay. So then what he has here, this is a clear piece with a clear like backpack piece. And that's the part that Princess Leia would hold on to. It's a hand size. We'll go ahead and see if, does he have another face? Oh, he does have another face. It's a little bit more concerned face on that side. On this side, he is a little bit more hopeful. Yeah, he's got a little bit of printing on his legs and torso. A little printing right there. He looks great. He's actually not too bad. This is a good Star Wars Luke Skywalker from A New Hope. Go ahead and switch him out. Take a look at Princess Leia. There we go. Another good Princess Leia minifigure. She's got, her nice white dress on. She's got the blaster in her hand. And there's the back of her outfit with the hood. We'll take off her hairpiece. And on that side, she's definitely got an aggressive look. Definitely a little aggravated, maybe that the Stormtroopers are chasing them. This side here is more of a hopeful. We're going to make it. We're going to get across the chasm. And there's her hairpiece. Next up, we do have a generic Stormtrooper. These guys are very massable, so you could get away with buying dozens of these things, if not hundreds of these things, and you'd never have enough. I like this version of the Stormtrooper myself. I know there's been different variations throughout the LEGO history, but I definitely like this one. It's got some good printing. He's got his blaster. The helmet is terrific. If we take off his helmet, we have the angry clone face. So anytime you have a Stormtrooper, it's going to have this exact same face on it, because they're all clones. Okay, so there's that, and I'll do a final one, which will be the Mouse Droid. He's a very simple few pieces build. Take a look at him from different sides. Yeah. So basically you've got these dark gray 1x1 modified plates in the middle that have connections on them to put studs. If you're looking closely, they have a connection on them. You can put a stud on each side to make the wheels. Then you have a cheese wedge on the front, cheese wedge on the back, stud on the top. Very simple, but does exactly what it needs to do. So that's it. That's my review on this set, which is really a neat little set. It allows you to, it invokes you to do more with it by using your own pieces. And I'm trying to zoom out. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.